The atmosphere's electric as the 5 winners of the Africa Fashion Up Showcase prepare to present their collections. They hail from Ivory Coast, Morocco, Congo Brazzaville, Kenya and South Africa. A snapshot of the continent's youth and creativity.
We're showing this new African generation who are carving out their place and taking up space alongside Western designers. They want to change the codes, they want to shake things up. There's no shortage of creativity. Anyone who goes to Africa will notice that wherever you look, there are colors, there is creativity. There are things being invented all the time. But there are certain codes to follow if you want to get into the export market. There's a certain way of working, how you prepare the collections. That's why we struck up a partnership with Balenciaga. And they've been supporting us since the first edition. They support the winners with masterclasses, and there's a 4-month training scheme offering mentorship too. Most of these designers don't necessarily have the skills to start a business. So with the HEC Business School, all of the marketing communication side, HEC helps them to extend their training to develop their brands, in addition to working on their creative skills.
Like any competition, they need sponsors and a fairy godmother of sorts. Today, that role's being filled by Parisian designer Clarisse Yarex.
For me, it's important to show them a good example.
What are the major obstacles when it comes to Africa?
I think that what's important, and not necessarily on the African continent, is that you need financial partners to be able to back our collections, especially if you're in the luxury sector. We really need, let's say, finance people, a certain expertise to be able to build these collections, the strategy, the marketing, it all goes together.
Brahim Fernandez launched his label in Abidjan using printed fabrics made in Mali and Ivory Coast. But that was before the competition.
For me, African fashion goes beyond the prints, the fabric. It's first and foremost a state of mind. It's a tribute to all the people of North Africa, Timbuktu, the Sahel, and all of that. So for me, using white is capturing the essence of purity and lightness.
The only woman among this year's winners is Moroccan designer Mina Binebine. She's on a mission to shake things up.
Moroccan fashion is boring?
It's always the same thing. It's very limited. We're not allowed to wear anything too short, too low cut. Men have to dress a certain way, women another way. And I'm not into it. I'm just saying no. If you're a man and you want to wear a corset, go for it. If you want to wear something that's a bit short, wear it. Don't be scared. Why shouldn't you?
In Congo Brazzaville, a young Jean-Cédric So spent a lot of his spare time on his computer and reading manga comics, something that shows in his personal style.
I do have a style. Even my own way of dressing is extremely eclectic. I mean that in the space of a week, I can go from wearing a military uniform to wearing a street cleaner's outfit, or whatever. Fashion for me is, well, it's something that can be done with a lot of humor. It should be fun. It should be about embracing life. Life's all about that, trying out lots of different little things, and I think that, for the moment, that's my style. I'm very eclectic, with a good dose of Japan in there too.
As for Muyishime Edi Patrick, he couldn't make it to Paris due to visa issues. Born in Kigali, Rwanda, he grew up in Nairobi and started his label there. His motto, eradicate reductive social constraints like gender by creating androgynous ensembles. A joint winner at Africa Fashion Up, he's sharing his prize with spirited South African designer Jacques Bam, who launched his first fashion collection at just 9 years old. Today, he's a walking advertisement for his conceptual clothing.
I own a brand called the Bam Collective, which I started 3 years ago. And the brand is really inspired by South African people. I find that South African people are incredibly joyous. They like having fun. They can make jokes about anything. They're light-hearted. They're really great to be around. But, you know, being an emerging economy, our people don't necessarily dress in a way that reflects our personality as South Africans. And my brand is kind of creates kind of a South African utopia, a way that I think we would dress if we were to be a first world country. It's very colorful, it's experimental, it's bold, there's a lot of prints, it's incredibly vibrant and light-hearted. It's not serious, but it still has a sense of class to it, you know. That's what I do in my brand.
Jacques Bam wipes away tears of joy, happy to be headed to HEC and Balenciaga to study marketing strategies. Maybe, because fashion's more than a dream, it's a business too.